Hi, this is Matt with Too Much Free Time, and I am here reviewing MIB3. I saw all three movies in the theater on strangely opening day. The first movie, of course, I enjoyed thoroughly, so I had to see the second movie as soon as I could, and I was severely disappointed, as I'm sure most of you were. So it really made me worry when I went to go see the third movie in the theater. I didn't think that I was going to go see the third movie on opening day, but it just kind of ended up happening. And I'm really glad it did because I'll be honest, I sat down in the theater wondering whether or not I had just wasted $10. $10 that could have probably better been used towards a hamburger and fries and maybe a soda. Um, and I considered walking out literally during the previews, but I didn't, and I'm glad I didn't. Now, before I go into the review, I want to ask those of you who have seen it, what is up with Frank the Pug? Jay has a giant photo of Frank the Pug in his house. Now, that may not seem all that strange, except for the fact that it is above his bed. That kind of worries me. Sorry, Jay. Hey. Now, the pros of the movie, of course, Will Smith, Tommy Lee Jones, Josh Brolin, they all did a great job at this movie. As you would expect, Josh Brolin did a very passable K. It wasn't perfect, but it was very good. And of course, he doesn't look anything like Tommy Lee Jones, but hey, he still got a lot of the mannerisms down, and so is very passable. The movie itself was well paced. It was pretty funny. It addressed racism in 1969, but it did it in a way that was actually pretty funny. And one thing that I really liked about the movie is the fact that despite the fact that it is a time travel movie, it did not address things like paradox or anything like that. And basically, it didn't overly complicate the matter. It didn't address the realities that it would take for actual time travel, which was good because of the fact that Men in Black has always been uh, uh, a very simplified version of sci-fi. Some of the cons of the movie is the general lack of aliens. There were definitely not as many aliens in this movie as there were in the other ones. Of course, there was the prerequisite very large alien bad guy that Jay has to fight halfway through the movie for comedy effect. There was, of course, the character in which has is kind of working a little bit outside the law that has the thing that you need to continue on with the storyline, which was played by the head explodey alien in the first couple movies. That character has been replaced by a human, which is rather strange. And a couple of the characters that you really expect to be aliens were humans. But hey, whatever. Now the bad guy. I want to address the bad guy. The bad guy just kind of fell flat. There was nothing to him. There's no backstory. You know his name, you know what planet he's from, and you know he's a little bit badass. That's all you know about him. He has a bad catchphrase. Let's agree to disagree, which is not a bad guy catchphrase. That's a I want to negotiate with you catchphrase. So it was rather kind of strange. Now, before I get to my review, I want to address the bad reviews of this movie. First off, it's a comedy. It is not high art. There are very few really good comedies out there, and what I mean by that is there's a lot of good comedies, but there's not a lot of movies that are good compared to movies that are not comedies. Zombieland and Muppets come to mind. Those are good movies when you compare them to any other movie. Uh, but when you compare to uh, when you compare to say the Avengers or what everyone expects the Dark Knight Rises to be, there's not a lot of comedies that you can compare to those kind of movies. So when you give Men in Black 3 a bad review as compared to those, that's not really fair. I mean, let's look at some of the best comedies of last year. Well, okay, Muppets was one of my exceptions, but like the second best comedy of last year was Bridesmaids. Are you really going to compare, say, Bridesmaids to a blockbuster like Avengers or The Dark Knight Returns or any of those movies? Of course not, because of the fact that it's not in the same league. Men in Black is a very good comedy. Maybe not a very good overall movie, but it's a very good comedy. Now, that being said, most comedies in the Spill.com rankings fit in the matinee category because of the fact that you don't want to see it full price. It's not worth the $15. It's worth a good $7 to $10 for a couple of reasons. One, because it's just not worth it, and two, you do not want a large audience there stepping on your punchlines. And the matinee does that. It's great for that. Men in Black 3 fits into that matinee category. Of course, the Spill.com ratings are some old bullshit. Rental, matinee, full price, and better than sex. So it fits right in that matinee category, which most comedies do. Like I said, Zombieland and Muppets being probably the only two exceptions that I can think of. So of course now you have a movie well worth the $7, $10 somewhere in there. Great. It's going to be a good addition to an MIB3 box or an MIB box set because now instead of having a good movie and a bad movie, you have a good movie, bad movie, good movie again. Yeah, that's I'm Matt with Too Much Free Time. Check out the website toomuchfreetime.co. Or if you misspell too much, as in T-O, much free time, it's .com. Go ahead and leave a comment right down there. Let us know what you think. And I hope to see you next time. Peace.